Good evening, everyone. So I'm coming out back quick after talking with Bigfoot, and I wanted to put this in my other video, but I wanted to talk to my husband first, and then I wanted to run it by a couple of people that are in the know. While shopping, before I went shopping, because I know it takes them about 10 to 20 minutes to fill my Prilosec, okay? And I get a prescription for that because I'm on it the rest of my life 2 times a day. That, I went like 3 days without having that, but I have over-the-counter stuff. And I talked to him, I said, well, it doesn't seem like the over-counter stuff works as good as my prescription, but it's the same strength. And he explained that to me, and I was right about that. The potency of the over-counter stuff isn't like a prescription. Even though it says everything just like the prescription, they're not the same. Then he asked me, are you here to fill for everyone in the family household? I said, well, they're really not up yet. He's like, well, can I have their birth dates? So I gave him the birth dates and the names. We got everything, even though they're not up yet. We got everything today. Everything. It was 37 pills left of my Singular. And now I have another 90-day supply. I said, is it that bad? And he says, it's looking towards. And then that was it. He literally left the counter and started doing stuff. And I said, am I all set? He goes, yeah, well, just when you're done shopping, come back. When I came back, I had a lot more than I thought we were going to. Things I didn't even ask for. So everything that we are on, they gave us. Except for one, I have to go back. Yep. So I wanted to put this with my other video with my haul, okay? But I wanted to ask questions first and talk to my husband first. And a couple of other people to see what their thoughts were. So we live in upstate New York, in the Adirondacks. And this is what they asked me today. And this is what's happening up here. Let me know by email or in the comment section if you've been to the pharmacy store lately, at the grocery store, or wherever, if you've had similar questions or similar things happen to you, like when you go to get something and they just give them all to you. And like I said, it's not normal because I had 37 left of this one thing, and I usually have a 90-day supply. I mean, that's over a month. It's almost a month and a half left. And they gave me a whole nother 90 days. I think with things the way that they are right now, I don't want to jump on saying this, but something's not quite right, because if anyone knows, that's a royal pain in the neck. You would almost have to be like leaving the country or leaving the state to get more, and you would have to maybe even pay out of pocket. I don't even think insurance companies would normally do that. So between the pharmacies and the insurance companies, they're doing something to make sure that we have what we need, and that's a 3-month supply. If you haven't already, call your doctor and get 3 months, 90 days supply on all of everything that you're on, no matter how minute. And also, if you're on certain things, get books and find other ways to control those issues if you're going to be without those things. Yeah. So this is just a quick video to let you guys know what I experienced today firsthand. I thought it was kind of odd, me going and asking to get my Prilosec filled, and him asking me, well, can I have the birth dates of everyone in the household? So I'm like, well, they're not ready yet for theirs. You know, they still have a lot left. He's like, is it half? And I'm like, a roundabout, yeah. And he says, okay. And I just said, is it really that bad? And it could get that way. It's going to be. There's a lot going on. They're talking about shutting things down again in certain states and putting these things back on, which I know people don't want to do that. They ain't gonna have that. I mean, are we gonna go back to the whole thing with essential workers with what's coming? Do we know what's coming? Is what's coming even being talked about? Like this new thing that was being talked about. We talked about it on Bushcrafts and TJ's. TJ mentioned it, but in 2003, there was prairie dogs and a couple of other different kind of animals coming out of Guyana. And there was like 40 some people, almost 50 people that had that ooh, ee, ah, ah, you know, thing going on. I don't remember hearing about it back in 2003. And I had my second child who was born in 2002, and I kept up on things like that. And I didn't even know. I don't remember anything about that in 2003, but that was 19 years ago. If our country can get through something like that and have that squashed in 19 years ago, with our technology and our knowledge now in 2022, you would think that we got this, right? Right. Yeah. It's kind of got my eyes like this, and I was just like I was dumbfounded and concerned all at the same time, and I wanted to ask more questions, but there was another woman behind me, and then there was another person who went to the other window. We have these like little windows you go to because of the Privacy Act, whatever. And I felt like I couldn't ask too many questions, but just him, you know, nodding his head, and it's like, it looks that way. Like, does he know something? Because I've been going there so long and talking to him for so long. No, we've never had coffee or anything like that. But I talk to him every time I go. So, I don't know. You guys let me know what you think is going on. And be careful with the comments, because I would really like this video to stay up, because I think... Well, I really don't know what I think. I have some thoughts. There's a certain place where U.S. gets a lot of our pharmaceutical stuff, you know, our medicines and stuff. And maybe that has something to do with it. I don't know. Y'all have a good night. I'm going to go in and go make some dinner.